Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to our YouTube channel once again. And it is my hope and prayer that this video is actually going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I am fine. Kisumu is also fantastic, and maybe you could also let me know where you are watching the video from. The county or the country in case you are out of the republic. Ladies and gentlemen, the question which Jubilee supporters, especially those who support Uhuru Kenyatta, should start asking themselves is what next for Uhuru Kenyatta after Jubilee takeover? Because from the way things are moving, the Kanini Kega group are definitely going to take control of Jubilee Party. So the question should be, what next for Uhuru Kenyatta? Maybe you could also help them by suggesting what next for Uhuru Kenyatta. Because earlier today, Kanini Kega issued a statement. And in that statement or press release, Kanini Kega is announcing that they are going to convene Jubilee NDC. And the intention of that NDC is one, to kick Uhuru Kenyatta from Jubilee Party as the party leader. So in this video, I want us to look at the real intention of this particular NDC, the objectives which it is intended to achieve, because it might not be necessarily about the Jubilee politics. It could be intended, the way I think, to achieve certain political objectives. But before we go into all those details, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is now. Let us get straight to the issue. Let me just take you through this letter. The letter is dated 6th press statement, and it says, ladies and gentlemen, the National Executive Committee met today pursuant to the notice sent out to members dated 29th May 2023 to deliberate on the agenda thereof as follows. The status of the resolution of the party dispute that have been ongoing internally and at the political parties dispute tribunal. The meeting noted and agreed with the determination of the Internal Dispute Resolutions Committee dated 30th. I want you to mark the date 30th May 2023, which declared the meeting held on 22nd May 2023 at Ngong Racecourse as null and void. The meeting also noted that the Register of Political Parties wrote a letter dated 29th May, also note the date 29th May, that is in the public domain and which confirmed that the said meeting did not follow the due process. I've always told you guys that in politics, nothing happens out of mere coincidence. There's no coincidences in politics. This letter is notifying you that according to Kanini Kega's group, they held NDC. They held a NEC meeting on 29th May. And then in the same letter, they are suggesting that the Register of Political Parties wrote a letter which was also dated on that 29th May 2023, which means after their NEC meeting, then phone calls were placed to the registrar, who then wrote another letter, because I think they deliberated that if you don't act very fast, then these guys are going to have their way. And he's saying, in light of the above, we wish to inform our members that the purported changes in the leadership of our party made at the said meeting are of no legal consequences. The party has communicated to the Speaker of the National Assembly that the leadership of the party in the House remains the same, including the position of the Deputy Minority Whip held by Honorable Sabina Chege. The meeting has also resolved that the party will hold a special NDC at the Kenyatta International Conference Center on 22nd July 2023. A notice convening the special NDC will be sent out in due course as required by the party constitution, signed by Kanini Kega. So this letter is addressing two issues. One of them is the issue of the deputy minority whip. You see, Jubilee has found itself in a very tight corner because there's no way they can work with the government and retain the deputy minority whip. It can't work. At the same time, if they were to cede that ground and another Jubilee member is nominated, then there's going to be a problem. But that's not the objective of this particular analysis. In this analysis, I want to explain to you guys the real intention of this particular letter, what it's intended to achieve. Number one, this letter by Kanini Kega is actually a letter from William Ruto and a letter from the Registrar of Political Party. This letter is basically intended to sanitize Jubilee takeover plan by the Registrar of Political Parties. The truth is, Uhuru Kenyatta will not have his way. And these guys are smart. And that's why I referred you to the letter which was dated on, to the reference of 29th May, the day the Jubilee NDC met. Jubilee NEC meeting allied to Kenya Kwanza met, and also a letter which was written by the Registrar of Political Party on the same day. Remember that letter, according to the registrar, was sent out very late in the evening when people had closed. So the truth of the matter is that they're trying to follow the procedure. And that's why if you read this letter, they're making reference to the Internal Dispute Resolutions Committee and also the Political Parties Dispute Tribunal. That's why they're making reference to that. And they're trying to follow the law. Remember, the registrar said the NDC convened by Uhuru Kenyatta did not meet certain requirements. This one is going to meet all those requirements. And the registrar is going to make a ruling that they've met all those requirements. And because the registrar is guided by law, that's how Uhuru Kenyatta is going to lose his party. So next time you remind me, I need to talk about what next for Uhuru Kenyatta after Jubilee takeover. Because Uhuru Kenyatta actually played with Kanini Kega. If I were Uhuru Kenyatta, and with the kind of money Uhuru Kenyatta has, Kanini Kega would not have peace in Nairobi. He would not have peace in his home. He would not have peace in Arusha. Number two, the intention of this letter is basically to sabotage the bipartisan talks. The talks collapsed a few days ago because according to Azimio, Kenya Kwanza were not showing any sign of commitment. If you followed the talks, Azimio issued some demands. One of them is political parties interference. So according to Azimio, they are with the Jubilee side. And that Jubilee side is they're supposed to replace the deputy minority whip, who is Sabina Chege, from office. And also Uhuru Kenyatta and the group are supposed to continue serving as Jubilee Party. Then Ruto convenes this NEC meeting, and one of the resolutions they are making is that Sabina Chege will remain, Uhuru Kenyatta is going out. Then you expect Azimio to attend that prayer rally meeting. The prayer breakfast tomorrow. You expect Azimio to clap for them. What these guys are actually doing to Azimio is that they're showing them middle finger. And for me, I'm not sympathetic to Azimio because the only language Kenya Kwanza understand is they only understand one language, which is mass action. But Raila Odinga is caving into pressure so easily. And Uhuru Kenyatta is also not very strategic in his approach. So the bipartisan talks are being sabotaged. Number three, and I also tend to think this is true, is that this letter and all these shenanigans you are witnessing are actually intended to divert the attention of the country from the Finance Bill 2023 debate. What about the timing? Parliament is resumed today, That's what people should be discussing. Then you bring the issue of Jubilee NDC, which is supposed to happen in July. Then you bring the issue of Sabina Chege, which the speaker is supposed to make a ruling on. So generally, the intention is simple: divert the attention of the country from that particular bill, so that those who love politics, instead of focusing on the finance bill, they will be focusing on Uhuru Kenyatta, on Jubilee Party, on Sabina Chege, and on Kanini Kega, and probably Jeremiah Kioni and his team. Yeah. Number 4, all these things are just a continuation of William Ruto's strategy to force Uhuru Kenyatta out of politics. And that's why I want us to look at what next for Uhuru Kenyatta after his ouster. Because Ruto is keen on forcing Uhuru Kenyatta out of parliament. He wants to humiliate him. He's telling Uhuru Kenyatta, okay, you still want to play this game? Let's game on. So Uhuru will just lose the party and there's nothing we'll do. After losing the party, probably Uhuru will be left with another political party, will be forced to form another political party, or Kanini Kega and the group will then now decide to merge Jubilee with UDA. You never know. And lastly, Ruto is still flexing his muscles, political muscles, on Uhuru Kenyatta. Why would he do this? He's doing that because of revenge. You know, Ruto believes that he ought to have been the president of the Republic of Kenya, not under UDA, but under Jubilee Party. He believes that he really spent his time and resources to build Jubilee Party, and that he supported Uhuru Kenyatta wholeheartedly in 2017 and 2013. And therefore, Uhuru ought to have supported him. Instead of just agreeing not to support him, Uhuru Kenyatta went further and took away his political party, which was Jubilee. And now he's the president. Do you expect Ruto to laugh with Uhuru Kenyatta? Things don't work like that. So he's actually revenging. And for me, sometimes I'm sympathetic to Uhuru Kenyatta, sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I'm sympathetic to his supporters, sometimes I'm not. Because, you know, Uhuru Kenyatta brought all this to himself. If you have power, use it. And that's why I strongly believe that it will be very difficult for Azimio to win against Ruto in 2027. Because Ruto understands that if this is going to slip, what do you think will happen to Gachagua? Hey, he will be dealt with. What do you think will happen to all these loudmouths? Yeah, because someone just sent me a text message. Let me just read for you that text message, which is very interesting. That nobody could convince me then that Ruto could defeat Raila with Uhuru and his entire team on our side. And he's also saying now, I'm slowly getting into another horror, or maybe not. But Ruto can be defeated in 2027. Keep ringing. Is this another denial in the making? Who will give us the right political harvesting path so that we don't perish in hopes endlessly? So let us wait and see how these things are going to unfold. And may you have a good day. Bye-bye.